famous and the most common is working with famous people or main influencers to share information or a particular message. So I include Taylor Swift in here because...
Are you kidding me? NATO Psychological Operations Unit. It's on the screen. Center of Excellence. The NATO Center of Excellence. In 2019, she had to re-record her own last year in order to win her right, in order to have a parallel tracks to win back her own rights. And of course, she was wheeled out for Biden in 2020 in the Get Out the Vote. And what was it? She won Time Magazine's Person of the Year this year. And I think it was the Wall Street Journal that hypothesized that Taylor Swift would be Biden's, quote, secret weapon to win the 2024 election. Oh, and by the way, her Eras Tour, which is has the economy of I think top 20 nation states by GDP in the entire globe. Her tour. Taylor Swift is a cultural battering ram to swing hearts and minds towards the West. And the fact that here in 2019, it is her picture, and she is the first line of the NATO Psychological Operations Center's personal presentation for artificial intelligence social media censorship techniques, because they've worked with her in the past. Sorry if my mic is cracking. And as a key actor who can be trained to spread desired messaging. Okay, I'm not going to pop an artery.
What's going on, everyone? Soft Screen here today. We're going to be analyzing Taylor Swift, and is she a cultural asset? As you saw from the intro, you saw this guy bleeping out about a conference that was held by, NATO, as their center of excellence, and how they designated as Taylor Swift as a possible asset for to lead the charge against misinformation and pushing messaging. We can train her to push a messaging that we want. An article came out today that Taylor Swift can sway the 2024 election outcome. New polls found with a fifth of voters likely to back candidate endorsed by the singer. Now, Kenny, why the hell are we talking about Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift is some pop icon. We shouldn't be worrying about her in the field of politics. Well, this has been a common tactic of Democrats for a long, long time. Ingratiate themselves with celebrities a la Cardi B, LeBron James, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Charlemagne. Democrats are known to cozy up to celebrities and these pop icons because they know majority of people who would vote. This is why high voter turnout is not necessarily a good thing, is because majority of these people will be low information voters, and low information voters can be easily swayed by Taylor Swift saying, I endorse X person for president. The reason why this is coming up is because, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. I know, guys. Patrick Mahomes is my favorite quarterback. I feel, some type of way about this, but it ain't Patrick's fault that his teammates dating Taylor Swift. Okay, it ain't his fault, right? So now, the Super Bowl talks are coming up, right? And people are thinking about Jack Posobiec, thinking about when Taylor Swift called out the Soros family in 2019. This is the same year that video you just saw in the intro was showcasing how, hey, they targeted her, and then Soros Group bought her rights to her music, and then she came out super liberal in the 2020s. Vivek added his commentary. He said, I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month, and I'm wondering if there's a major political endorsement coming from an artificially culturally propped up couple this fall. Some people are saying that this relationship between her and the tight end, I forgot his name. Sorry, guys. I know he was Bud Light commercials, all that stuff. I forgot his name already. Klasick? I forgot his name. But people have this conspiracy theory. Everyone has speculation that their whole situation is just for the public perception, and it's a way of drumming up attention for both parties. And it seems to be working, because I'm talking about it. A lot of people are talking about it. Taylor Swift has never been more relevant today because, hey, look, people with my complexion, especially men, we don't know who Taylor Swift is until she started being associated with the NFL. But I digress. Just some wild speculation over here, and let's see how it comes to age over the next 8 months. So now I'm going to go into some bookmarks that I had, and this is how I was notified of the story. If your choice of president is based on Taylor Swift's personal choice, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. And I agree with this sentiment, right? This is what I'm saying. This is why I don't like a high voter turnout, because I think a lot of people are low information voters. And one way of how I'm trying to push it is I'm trying to get my opinions out there, trying to get my assumptions out there, and at least have these low information people challenge my argument, or maybe they know something that I miss. Because at the end of the day, I'm human. Like I have blind spots just as much as anybody. But the idea that you're swayed with a pop icon who probably is not as informed as you get me. It's like this blind leading the blind. They admitted that they're using her as a mouthpiece, and a lot of these Democrats use celebrities the same way. Hillary Clinton, right? Especially Hillary Clinton. She had LeBron James speaking for her, Jay-Z. I remember those days. I'm like, yo, I don't need to listen to Jay-Z's politics. I like his music. I don't need to listen to his politics. But a lot of people, we put these people, almost these celebrities, in a pedestal. And this is one of the reasons why this is idolatry, right? Like the Bible talks about this too, is that, hey, you shouldn't worship man, you should only worship God. AKA you shouldn't worship something, you shouldn't worship someone else that's essentially your equal under the eyes of God. But if you don't believe in God, hey, this successful famous person said, I endorse Joe Biden. I must vote for Joe Biden. That's how I saw the Cardi B thing. Joe Biden didn't want to talk to Candace Owens and maybe some progressive, politically informed black woman. He didn't want to talk to none of them. He said, no, I'm going to talk to Cardi B, because Cardi B has more cultural impact than a Candace Owens or some progressive black woman in politics. And it's an easier, think about it. For the time investment, if Joe Biden sat an hour with Candace Owens, it's going to look a lot less marketable if he sat an hour with Cardi B, because with Cardi B, she ain't gonna get much pushback. All he has to do is say some nice platitudes that sounds good, but in theory doesn't work, and he'll get a lot more support than if he was going with someone in the political class or in the political industry that actually knows what they're talking about, that can effectively challenge him a lot more effectively. And I think if we keep rewarding this stuff, they're going to keep playing it. And it seems like this is a common playbook in the Democratic Party specifically. Name me one. I mean, right now, Trump is getting that same kind of support behind him. Snoop Dogg decided to be publicly showing positivity towards Donald Trump. So it can work in both people's favors. But I think I want to be a genuine American if I did not highlight the effects that these kind of endorsements will have, and that we need to stop putting these idols on a pedestal, right? We're worshiping men instead of worshiping God or our principles, whatever you want to translate what I'm saying, right? So here's this is Greg Foreman, Black Conservative Perspective. This is why student loan debt shouldn't be forgiven, because Taylor Swift, this is how much of a cultural asset that Taylor Swift is. And I already told you, look, I'm ranting right now, but college is overwhelmingly dominated by the left. This is why I say this is a left-wing approach. This is a left-wing playbook. They tend to play this game more than the Republicans. They love to draw out celebrities, put them in climate change control, have them be the messengers for their message, because the left love authority, right? They love to appeal to authority. So their main tactic is to get themselves in position of authority or influence people in a position of authority and have them push their message for them. And I think this is what we're dealing with today. Taylor Swift is officially in session at Harvard University. Imagine Harvard University. You spent I don't know how much money learning about how a woman became a pop star. And what benefit does this give them? Who knows, right? But this is the kind of political and cultural weight that she has. This is why I asked the question, is she a cultural asset? Based on the intro, she is. Is this genuine? Is this not genuine? Is she a paid mouthpiece? There's stories out there that Biden's paying millions and millions of dollars to Biden influencers on TikTok to sway public opinion.
And they said, what would your rate be to post positive videos about Joe Biden? So they responded back, we understand you're not a fan of the Democrat Party right now. How much would it cost? I was like, you know what? I wonder how bad they want me to post this. 50 grand. And they said Yes.
Too many coincidences are going on for us to just, for someone who may disagree with me on this video to brush it away and say, "Oh, Kenny, your conspiracy theory." No, this is a speculation, and it's highly probable because Biden already got exposed for doing this already. What I already say, we already know this already, guys. And I want to highlight this comment that Vivek put, and I think Republicans, especially in our leadership class, we have a disdain for TikTok. I know I don't like TikTok, but I just think it's not my crowd. But I think it's idiotic. This is Vivek talking now. It's idiotic for Republicans to complain that TikTok content skews pro-Democrat while also boycotting TikTok and criticizing Republicans who use it. Think about where content actually comes from. Time for the grand old party to show up and grow up. That's how we'll actually win. And I agree with this because the only way you can fight, you can push back against Taylor Swift having such influence over our culture is to participate in culture. This is why I love the fact that Ben Shapiro decided to be the #1 rapper in America for right now this week, right? This is kind of the things that you have to do. You have to ingrain yourself into a culture so that way you can build relatability. And I think this is the biggest problem, the biggest hurdle that the Republicans have, is they don't have any relatability. And it's hard for low information voters to kind of gravitate towards the Republican Party. Do you agree with me? You don't agree with me? Do you believe Taylor Swift is actual cultural impact, or you think, nah, she's not much of a cultural impact, Kenny? She only can sway 20% of the vote, even though a lot of Gen Z women seem to be heavily influenced by her. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would really like to hear them. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.